What's going on, guys? Today I've got a special treat for you. I've got my buddy Cody over here. We're dealing with an issue he's having with his GoPed scooter. It's a GSR 40. I've personally had this same issue with my GoPeds, and I know if he's had it and I've had it, at least one of you guys have had that same issue as well. And of course, I am talking about throttle cables, throttle levers, as well as getting that full throttle potential out of your GoPed scooter. Today we're going to be discussing that and a lot more coming up next. Alright, you guys, we are now up here at the front of the ped and we're going to be covering what is exactly causing this issue. So pay attention. Here we go. So first up here we have the throttle lever. I'm going to go ahead and pull on it slightly. Keep an eye on that cable and I'm going to show you guys what exactly is going on. So as I'm pulling it, you guys see that slop in there? That should not be getting pulled. When the throttle cable, or when the throttle lever is all the way shut like this, your cable should be solid and stationary in there. It should not have any slack when you pull it forward. So after we pull it forward right here, we're actually hurting ourselves from getting full throttle. So when we pull it here, that little bit of cable that's actually sticking out in there is hurting us, and we are unable to achieve our full throttle. I'm going to go ahead and pull this cable out and show you guys what is exactly happening here essentially in this. So what is happening here, this is actually a brand new throttle cable. You can see right here, this is actually brand new. Look how clean and clear that is. Anyways, what is happening here is this sleeve, that you have a metal body to your throttle. You have your cable inside there. You have a metal body. Let me see if I can get that to focus for you guys. So essentially you have your cable inside there, you have a metal body that's around that cable, and then you have this little wire braided line with a clear piece over that. And what's happening is inside this throttle lever, this is actually the design flaw, is inside that throttle lever, the little piece that sits in there where your cable rests up against, it is only grabbing on the cable sleeve itself, the little sleeve right here. So when we're pulling that throttle, it's pulling your sleeve back and back and back more and more. And as you pull your throttle here, you're not achieving full throttle. Alright, you guys, so what we're looking at now is the back of the ped. Right here is the air filter, the V-stack, the carburetor, and right here is the piece we're going to be looking at. This is showing us our full throttle right here on this little point. So go ahead and hit that, Cody. Go ahead and pull it. So you guys see how that's not opening all the way. Go ahead and pull it a couple more times. See how he's not quite getting full throttle right there? And it's due to a cable issue. So let me go ahead and I'm going to show you manually here. I'm going to be pushing on here on the back of it and showing you guys manually what full throttle looks like. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull it all the way right there, back, all the way. So you guys see how it's hitting that little stopper right there? That is getting full throttle right there. If you guys are not reaching that full throttle point right there, you guys have more potential in your ped, more or less is what that is. So go ahead and hit that one more time for me. See again, all the way. I'm going to do it one more time for you guys. So all the way right there, that's full throttle. Again, one more time. See? So you guys see that what's going on there? I'm going to be showing you guys next what is causing this issue and how you can fix it, or at least how I have overcome this issue before. Alright, you guys, so here is our fix to the throttle issue, or my fix, if you will, how I personally do it. I don't recommend this, but this is something that I do, something you guys can do too. But again, like I said, I don't recommend doing this, fine print. I don't want anyone to get hurt and install it wrong or modify it wrong and end up hurting themselves and their throttle sticking, because that is something I've done a few times in my time where the throttle is stuck on me and it is not a pleasant feeling. Or after the fact, after it happened. Anyways, let's get into the video here. So what we have here are two little modification pieces. The one on your left here is actually one I had machined out at a machine shop. I had a couple of these made. These are not for sale, first off. If you want to buy them, I guess you can buy them for $1,000, but essentially they're not for sale. These are a nice little piece that I had made that cost a pretty penny, let's say, and they're very much worth it. But I found a cheaper fix for you guys. This is essentially how I did it originally to fix this issue I acquired, I guess. And that is going down to Home Depot, picking up a little washer here like you see. And what I did is I took my pair of pliers here, cut out an opening section in there, and then essentially what I'll do is I will wrap it, I will stick it, let's see if I can get it in there, there we go, put it over the sleeve here and crimp it down. You're going to have to find the right size washer. It's not something you can just grab and put in there and go. It needs to be a pretty precise size. So you might need to pick up a couple different ones and play around with it if you do want to do this mod. But like I said, it's not something I recommend doing. You know, don't want anyone to get hurt out there. But anyways, so that is that little modification right there. Essentially, this is the exact same thing, what you're going to want it to look like. I'll get a close-up picture of this and post it up and kind of give you guys a little idea of dimensions on this. But that's that right here. Now what I have here is a stock throttle cable, and you guys can see actually here, even with the stock one, how the sleeve was pulled back and recessed back. You know, again, it's because of the design flaw in the throttle lever itself. It is machined out too big, and it's only grabbing on the throttle sleeve here and not on the actual metal housing, and that is why we're having these issues right here. So if you guys see this issue, you're probably not getting full throttle. Maybe some of you guys might be, but keep that in mind. This is going to help you guys achieve maximum potential out of your PED. Alright, you guys, before I forget, we do actually have one more quick fix for this problem. This is probably the way most of you guys might want to do this. This is how I did it originally before I came up with that little washer mod, but that is using none other than a couple zip ties, and I'm sure you guys all have zip ties. Now essentially what you're going to do is take this zip tie, make sure this cable is pushed all the way out, take your zip tie, fish it through here, go ahead and pull this tight, make sure again this is all the way out, and taking your zip tie and tightening it down, making sure this is all the way tight up against here. What I recommend is taking some pliers and pulling this. Happen to have some right here. Go ahead and pull that tight. And essentially what this is going to do is it's going to help that. See how it doesn't pull it out as much? Let's see if, let me zoom in for you guys on that. Let's see here. Boom. So you can see it's not getting pulled out as much. So it helps a little bit. What I usually do is I'll put 2 zip ties on here, so you're actually having double the force. So there's one. Grab one more and see how this works. I mean, this is the cheapest fix, and it does help a little bit with this issue. So let's go ahead and try that one more time. Look at that, much better. And if you really want to get crazy, you can probably put even 3 in there. You guys see how that helps that much more? And I bet if we go to the back here, we'll see full throttle. Let's go ahead and pan around to the back and see how that looks out back. Alright, you guys, so we have just done the modification up there with the zip ties. This is a zip tie modification. It costs you all of 30 cents to 15 cents a zip tie, I think. I don't know. Anyways, so let's look here. Let's zoom in and go ahead and pull that throttle all the way. Boom, look at that. Money on the money right there. Just with the zip ties, you guys. So if you guys want to kind of save some time, I know you guys all have zip ties, and you guys can actually do this modification yourself. Or if you want to do a little more professional, which I don't really recommend doing it that way, but you can get the little washer mod and cut that up and modify that and make that work. But again, this is what works for me. Before you guys ride your PEDs, after doing any modifications to it, make sure it's on a GoPed stand or some kind of stand where it's off the ground. Start it up, open throttle, open and close it, rev it a couple times. Make sure nothing is sticking, making sure you're not having any issues, because I've done this before where I've done a quick modification, I hop on it, I go down the street, and all of a sudden I let off on the throttle and it's stuck, and there I go. So I hope that helps you guys out. Again, any questions, let me know. Find me on Facebook, GoPed Derek Short. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.